Why do we suffer? Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, existentially. Why does life, no matter how good it gets, always seem to carry a shadow? Tension. A feeling that something is not quite right? Buddhism doesn't shy away from this question. In fact, it begins with it. And what it offers is not just an explanation, but a path. Stay with me. Because once you see suffering the way Buddhism sees it, you might never suffer the same way again. Buddhism begins with a simple but radical claim. Life is suffering. Not in a hopeless, nihilistic sense, but in a clear, unflinching observation of reality. This is the first noble truth, dukkha. Often translated as suffering, but it's more nuanced than that. Dukkha is the dissatisfaction woven into the fabric of life. The stress, the clinging, the inevitable heartbreak of existence. Even pleasure, even success, even love, they too contain dukkha. Because nothing lasts. And that's hard to accept. But Buddhism doesn't stop there. It never says, just accept it. It says, understand it. If you truly see the cause of suffering, you can be free of it. So what causes suffering? The second noble truth answers this, Tanha or craving. We suffer because we cling. To experiences, to identities, to people, to control. We want things to be a certain way and we resist anything that threatens that. We crave pleasure. We resist pain. We chase permanence. We're terrified of change. But life is change. Everything is impermanent, anicca. Nothing stays the same. Not your body, not your thoughts, not your relationships, not even the self. And the more we fight that truth, the more we suffer. The problem isn't pain. Pain is part of life. The problem is our resistance to it. So if suffering is caused by craving, can we stop craving? This is the third noble truth, nirvana, the cessation of suffering. This isn't some mystical afterlife. Nirvana is a state of mind. A mind free from attachment, free from illusion. A mind that no longer clings, no longer resists. It sees the world clearly and rests in peace even in the midst of chaos. This sounds impossible, doesn't it? But Buddhism is deeply practical. It doesn't just describe the destination, it gives you the map. That map is the fourth noble truth, the Noble Eightfold Path. This path isn't about blind belief or ritual. It's about living with awareness. It's divided into three core areas: wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. Right view, understanding the four noble truths, seeing life as it truly is. Right intention, letting go of ill will and attachment. Right speech, speaking truthfully and compassionately. Right action, acting in ways that don't cause harm. Right livelihood, earning a living in a way that aligns with your values. Right effort, letting go of unwholesome states and cultivating wholesome ones. Right mindfulness, being fully present, observing without judgment. Right concentration, developing deep states of meditative absorption. This isn't a to-do list, it's a way of being. A way of training the mind to respond differently to life, and ultimately, to suffering. Here's the twist. In Buddhism, suffering isn't just something to escape. It's also something to learn from. Suffering shows us where we're clinging, where we're asleep, where we're holding on to illusions. That heartbreak, it reveals your dependence. That frustration, it shows you your expectations. That anxiety, it teaches you your fear of loss. Every moment of suffering is an opportunity, not for despair, but for awakening. And you don't have to believe any of this. The Buddha himself said, "Don't accept my words just because I said them. Test them. See for yourself." Buddhism isn't a dogma. It's an invitation. An invitation to look directly at your life. To observe your thoughts, your emotions, your habits. To ask, what am I clinging to? What am I resisting? What am I running from? You don't have to become a monk. You don't have to shave your head or change your name. You just have to pay attention. Because once you start seeing suffering clearly, you start walking toward freedom. We all suffer. That's unavoidable. But how we suffer, and how long we stay trapped in it, that is something we can change. According to Buddhism, suffering isn't a curse, it's a doorway. A doorway into awareness, into compassion, into peace. So the real question isn't, why do we suffer? The real question is, are we willing to see it and walk through it?